Hi everyone, my name is Pierre Pringes. I've been in Sri Lanka for about 40 years. Most part of it was spent in making tires in Lodestar. And 5 years ago, I started the Lanka Yachting Group. Second phase of my life, I wanted to give something back to Sri Lanka. And as I'm a very eager yachtsman, passionate about the sea, about cruising, sailing, I thought to do something based on the ocean and on the sea. The whole idea came actually after the tsunami, when Sri Lanka was hit and a lot of destruction was happening in the country due to the tsunami. I think 40,000 people died. And we did a big rebuilding program at that time, and I was very much involved in the fisheries and all the people in the coastal areas on the south coast of Sri Lanka. So basically in 2014, my vision of creating employment and a new socio-economic development for Sri Lanka came to a conclusion. I had a vision that, as much as I worked on the export of manufacturing of tires for export here, where we were using the precious resources of Sri Lanka, like the natural rubber and of course the skilled labor available. I was thinking that the ocean, the blue ocean and the blue skies that you have in Sri Lanka were also a major asset which could be turned into something for a better future of Sri Lanka. Unfortunately, the blue skies and the blue oceans, you cannot put them in a container and send them somewhere. So there was only one solution, is to look at how to maximize the benefit to the country and also to the people by using these resources locally and to develop the industry that we are in now. So the Sri Lanka Yachting Group, the vision that we developed was, we will start building yachts, sailing yachts, cruising yachts, excursion boats, name it as you will. And we will use this first on a commercial basis to take tourists on the sea, to take people of Sri Lanka, citizens of Sri Lanka, who have the passion also for the sea, to learn them about the beauty of the sailing and cruising, and on a commercial basis, and to get this passion into the DNA of people of this country. And to do that, we had to create first a boat yacht. The boat yacht is BAF Polymec, is let's say inspired by our foundation that we founded in 2007, shortly after the tsunami, and where we had a training center to train young boys and girls for for jobs for the future.
I am Saman K. Virwardhana, General Manager of the company. We are at now Solar Impulse Private Limited premises. Here we have a post main section, board building, tube making, cell making and engineering workshop. What we are doing here is all the support service for our fleet that is operated in the under Lanka Charter Private Limited. So we give all the service required and spare part as well as pontoon for the mooring facility.
So basically, Buff Polymech was the first company we created to build yachts for the local market and also for export. Because our vision was that Sri Lanka, with all this potential of blue ocean and blue water, and the potential for tourism on land, had a vast potential of probably over 500 yachts, cruising yachts, sailing yachts, and so on, to be built for the future development of the own needs of tourism here. Building these yachts and designing these yachts here would create, and testing them here in the local waters, would create the opportunity to sell them for export. So it was a double-edged sword, a double-edged opportunity to use the potential of the local market as a jumping board for export. So after 5 years now, we have a fleet of 8 such boats. In January, we are launching another 2. One of them is a game-changing cruising boat, a boutique cruise boat. I call it a boutique cruise boat because as much as this boat here, which we build in our factory in Kogala, has about 15 meters of length and 8 meters of width. The cruise and capacity for passengers here on this one is 8 persons. The cruising boat, the boutique cruise boat, we call it the Ocean Diamond, of 27 meters, is 27 meters long and is 12.5 meters wide, and has 3 floors or 3 stories, one in the hull, one on the deck, and one on top of the upper deck. So we have basically 3 levels. In the hulls, we have all the crew and the machine rooms and the fridges and the freezers and everything. On the deck on this one, the Ocean Diamond, we have 8 luxury cabins, with every cabin having a terrace, a private terrace with view on the ocean. And on the top, we have a restaurant, lounging area, sunbathing area, and a fully equipped kitchen. this is the product for the future. On this one, you are on the product that we have already established, and we have exported several of these boats already to the export market. We have also had the opportunity to attract people who build yachts in other countries to come and invest here. You know, you must understand that, for instance, for the sailing catamarans, France produces 70% of all the sailing catamarans in the world. So, but they build sailing catamarans which can go to the North Pole, the South Pole, to England, where the climate is horrible. So we decided to build only sailing catamarans, cruise boats, and etc. for the tropical blue water and blue sky opportunities. Our market is not exporting back to Europe, exporting to England or whatever. Our market is here. Starts from the east coast of Africa, over the Middle East, over the Maldives, India, Sri Lanka, then Southeast Asia up to Vietnam. This is the market where there is already a shortage, there's an underdevelopment level in terms of yachting, and that's where we concentrate on. So this is our vision, which will create a new socio-economic opportunity for the country.
All the people, I mean the 90% of the people who are working here is the trainees of Building the Future Foundation. If I talk about the Building the Future Foundation, we are trained 60 to 100 people per year from the school leavers of the area. We have three main training courses: outboard motor mechanic, advanced composite training, and multi-skill. We train all these people purpose of the job. So after the completion of 1 year and 1 year and a half, so they get assurance from the company or from outside. So they are already trained for a job.
In 2014, when we started the idea, we had about 30 or 40 employees. Now we have 350. You can see also this type of boats, which are quite impressive. They are, you know, we have our own design office. These boats are quite performant. They are captained by local captains.
Hi, my name is Anura. I'm from Sri Lanka and I'm working for the BEF Foundation. It's called Building the Future Foundation. I'm working as a captain.
So Captain Anura, is coming from the village of Mirissa. It's his family and so on, or fishermen. And you know, if not for the opportunity we gave him, he would probably be a fisherman too.
I have a 6-year experience on sailing, and we have sailing club on the south, so we are learning for sailing on this small club. So as I'm captain working, we have the whale watching, very famous in the world, whale watching, and we have some cruises, whale watching, and also 7 hours cruises, and also sailing around the south area and east coast and the north on the island, Sri Lanka.
My name is Noël Bourri. I'm French, and I did come the last 15 years to support for the shipyard, you know. So every time new boat is finished, I'm taking care about the launching of the boat. Then we have to put up the mast, and then we make all the testing, you know, sail test, engine test, also all the plumbing, all the system, all the technology. This boat is like a 53 foot. So it's a catamaran, 53 foot, and we have engine 80 horsepower on it. And so the boat is built in Kogola, and everything is done in Sri Lanka. So that means the sails are done here, the boat is done here, and the technique for making the hull is, we call that the infusion system.
This is the outside hull mold of the 80 feet catamaran, which we use for the 10 cabin boat. So this is the one part of the hull mold. It will be outside or inside. Now I am sitting on the Iguana X100 boat mold, which will be launched in the March. This boat can go especially on water and land with the track. This is one of a sample cabin of the Ocean Diamond, which is 10 guest cabin catamaran, 80 feet long. So we will be launch this boat in the January first week. So this is the cabin almost same like the other 10 cabins. So you can see this is all the luxury class cabin. In addition this big boat, we have a series of 53 feet catamaran, so has basically 4 cabins in the hull and 5 each. So that's normally for the 10 guest cabin.
We train them into, becoming real seamen. So in the beginning of, say, Lanka Yachting Group, we had expatriates to be the captains of this boat. And basically after a year I realized that the young boys that we recruited from the fishing villages in the areas had actually much more skills to be the captains of this boat, because they know the area, they know the weather, they know the sea, they know the dangers of the ocean, and they are very careful, So we really changed 100% our approach, and we appointed all local people from the coastal villages, which we trained to be captains. We appointed them all to be the captains of our ships.